Sweet moogly boogly, there's a brand new Sliver promo? But what is it? Greetings, owners of fine luxury cardboard rectangles. We are here today to talk about a couple of funky looking promo cards. Now I'm going to start out with the sweet hotness because I know that's what everybody wants to talk about. We're going to be taking a look at the new Sliver. What is it? I'm sure you saw it in the thumbnail. You got to be wondering, what are we dealing with? Well, I'll tell you right now. It's Sliver Legion. Oh my God. This is one of the most busted slivers around. It takes a sliver and crams a coat of arms onto it. It is one of every color. It is a 7/7 legendary sliver. And you will notice that it's got the new legendary kind of frame that they have given cards going forwards from Dominaria. So what does it do? All sliver creatures get +1/+1 for each other sliver on the battlefield. And the flavor text says, hidden within the clicking, chittering swarm is a unique mind, still young, but growing more aware as time passes. Ooh. So this thing is absolutely busted in all honesty. This is a massive sliver that grows all of your other slivers. Everybody just gets crazy. Now the Sliver Legion admittedly doesn't get its own bonus, but I feel like that would be kind of like overkill. The artwork shows obviously a legion of slivers. Now interestingly enough, I think that compared to the first artwork, this Sliver Legion does a better job of encompassing the idea of a legion of slivers, where you have the big sliver in the middle and all these other small slivers around it. Now, I'm guessing this is actually supposed to represent, this whole group of slivers is supposed to represent the Sliver Legion? It's the thing about Sliver Legion is the artwork's always been a little bit hard to try and work with, because you've got all these slivers in the artwork and you're like, okay, is the big guy in the middle the Sliver Legion? And is he making all these other slivers bigger? But then how's it a legion? And if they're all together like this, it's like, well, that kind of makes more sense. It's 7/7 because it's the combined might of all these slivers, and it doesn't get any bigger because of all the slivers around it. We're also getting bonuses. Wouldn't they also be massive based on the number of slivers that are around? And when you take a look at the original artwork for the Sliver Legion, you'll see that its artwork is also very weird. Its artwork is, it's like Akira. It's like Akira, that's like Akira Legion. If you watch the movie Akira, where Buddy basically ends up turning into this swollen mass of flesh and like just amalgamating everything around him into himself. Well, that's what the Sliver Legion feels like. Honestly, Sliver Legion with the original artwork almost feels like it should have flying, because it looks like a big old blimp of slivers. Although admittedly, the flavor of this one works. The flavor of the old Sliver Legion artwork works in differentiating the Sliver Legion from the other slivers. As you can see, the Sliver Legion would be that big blimp of slivers in the back, and the frontal slivers that are all darkened are not part of the Legion. And also it works better with the flavor text, where it says, hidden within the clicking, chittering swarm is a unique mind, still young but growing more aware as time passes. With that big blobby whatever, when you think about there being a mind somewhere deep inside of it, you could think of there being like a tiny little slivlet, a tiny little Richard Lash slivlet, just creeping on down in the middle there. But it has awareness, and that's actually the most terrifying part about a Sliver Legion, is the idea that, well, I mean, it's not a Sliver Legion, the Sliver Legion. There is only one of these. The idea of a sentient Sliver Lord is very, very terrifying. Slivers are like supposed to be more like mindless insects, akin to ants, but not really exactly the same. And when we look at the artwork on the new Sliver Legion, you go, okay, well, where's the young chittering mind? Where even is that in the card? Also, I bet you have a question right now that I haven't answered. And the question is, how do I get this? Like, what is this a promo for even? I see a little shooting star. What is this? Well, my friends, this is a judge promo. So, sorry if I broke your heart a little, but these are only going to be given out to judges, which means you either need to be part of the judge program, which is just wizards taking advantage of free labor and handing over a few foils, which is kind of rough, but that's a subject for another day. So you'll either need to be a judge, or you'll need to go ahead and buy one of these on the secondary market. And I imagine these are going to command a hefty price tag, because these are rarer than your original Sliver Legions and their foil. Certain judge promos tend to be bank breaking. So this is going to be an expensive judge promo. Now this actually isn't the only promo I have to show you today. It's just admittedly the most exciting. It's weird how they release judge promos. This is judge promo 2 of 8, and I'm going to show you next judge promo 4 of 8. But they already released judge promo 1 and 3, because Wizards of the Coast, when it comes to releasing promos, and judge promos specifically, they don't know what they're doing. They don't do it right. They don't do it right. They don't do it in a sensical way, because why would you do that? Why would you do things in a sensical way when you can do things in a masterful way? Reference to the Mastery Pass. Beautiful work of art, that. Anyways, let's move on to the other judge promo. That one is Isolated Watchtower. Now, this card actually hasn't existed. As far as I understand, this card hasn't existed in any form in foil. So this is the only foil version of Isolated Watchtower you can get, because Isolated Watchtower is actually a commander deck card. So this taps for a colorless mana, 2 and tap it, scry 1, then you may reveal the top card of your library. If it's a basic land card that's revealed this way, put it onto the battlefield tapped. Activate this ability only if an opponent controls at least 2 more lands than you. Now, the power level of this card, admittedly, not super exciting. Honestly, you compare this to things like land tax and stuff. It's like, I mean, it still is a land that lets you scry, but the second ability where it's like you can get lands, but they have to be basic lands, and your opponent has to have 2 more lands than you. So all the controls that they put on it to try and make it like not be too strong. Sure, it fits in Commander where you can have a bunch of different people with different amounts of lands out and whatever. But in Commander also, how many basic lands do you really want to be running? Unless you're playing like a monocolor Commander deck, in which case a lot. But overall, the card's power level leaves something to be desired. I do like the artwork. It really does give a feeling of isolation. You can see this is the only man-made structure standing very erect and powerful off in the distance. You've got the clouds all around it. You've got a nice, like, just kind of flattish sort of pastoral setting with some trees and bushes around, but nothing comes anywhere close to the height of this watchtower. So it stands out amongst the wilderness all on its own. I like the artwork, honestly. It feels like it would be a very calm and peaceful kind of place to hang out. I honestly don't understand, like, thematically how the idea of an isolated watchtower would let you put more lands out. Like, the whole flavor behind it in terms of how the card operates mechanically flavor-wise, it falls apart and my brain goes, I don't understand. I don't get it. Either way, these are the 2 judge promos we just had dropped on our heads. Basically, these, for you guys who don't know how it works, they give these out, as far as I remember, they give them out in packs of 4. So these should be coming out. Basically, it would be like you'll get a Sliver Legion, an Isolated Watchtower, and then the other 2 judge promos that they've released for 2019. You can see the little J19 down in the corner there, and that represents that these are judge promos. So these 2 cards will come out along with a Miri's Guile and a Mox Opal. That's a pretty juicy pack of cards right there. Nothing to turn your nose up at. And I got a big nose. I can turn it up pretty high, friends. Speaking of turning things up high, my subscriber count has gone above 16,000. So thank you, my friends, for that. You know what we're going to do now? We're going to move the guild sticker because it's time to make it happen.
Oh, hello there. Hello. Wow, this is a sexy look for me, isn't it? Ooh, lordy. All right, time to move the guild. Okay, so we got the Simic. The Simic moving the guilds. Moving along the dragon's maze, making their way to happy days. Oh, sweet lordy, 16Ks. All right. So we have moved the glorious guilds. We have moved them. So let's go back to another angle that shows my beautiful face.
Now, as is the case when we hit one of these milestones, I am going to have a special celebratory live stream tonight where we're going to open up some booster packs. And who knows, I may be getting my hands on some Core 2020. A little birdie might fly in with some packs of Core 2020. So if you want to come on by and super chat and see if I open up some packs of Core 2020, you're welcome to. Also, if you just want to come and hang and chill out, you're also welcome to do that. We'll have a good old time chatting and hanging with friends. I want to thank everybody who helped me get to 16K. It's very much appreciated. Special shout out to the people who are scrolling on by behind me, because these are my patrons and channel members, and that means they're the people who financially support my channel. And that means a lot to me. I never thought that I would have what I have. I am very thankful for it. So thank you to all of you for coming and hanging out with me. It means a lot to me. And for now, I'm history, baby.